The trending topic in the world of cricket today is Ranji Trophy. That after the BCCI finally decided to go ahead with the Ranji Trophy season, earlier saying that it was unlikely to have the Ranji Trophy for a second year in a row. And I think the backlash that came BCCI's way was because someone had mentioned there it's not so much because of the coronavirus that they were not having Ranji Trophy. It was primarily because they couldn't find a window for the Ranji Trophy, and that's why a lot of people were criticizing the Board of Control for Cricket in India. Finally, good sense has prevailed. They've decided to go ahead with the season. I think Ravi Shastri, the former India coach and player, summed it best when he tweeted out to say that Ranji Trophy is the backbone of Indian cricket. Without it, Indian cricket will be spineless. But now that the Ranji Trophy is back, in this particular video, we're going to tell you 5 reasons why Ranji Trophy is indeed the backbone of Indian cricket and why it is so essential. We start with those players that need to make comeback into the Indian team or are going through a bad phase. For example, the likes of Ajinkya Rahane, Cheteshwar Pujara. Most people have said that, listen, they need to sort out their game and then come back. How do they sort out their game if they're not going to be part of the Indian test team? They need to go back and play the longer format. That's when you can get your form back, and then the selectors can look back at you, considering if you've got a lot of runs there, and then select you. So I think for that reason alone, for players that really need to go back, sort their game out, whether it's technically, whether it's mentally, Ranji Trophy is very essential. Just look at it from the eyes of Ajinkya Rahane, Cheteshwar Pujara that may not be picked and now need to go and perform in domestic cricket. Because that's also the place where a lot of injured established players really need to show their fitness. Now, how is it that the selectors are going to know that you're fit? Case in point is Hardik Pandya. Before they were selecting the team for West Indies, apparently the selectors called up Hardik Pandya, asked him about his fitness. He said, I'm feeling fit, but the selectors said they need to see him play in the longer format of the game or in domestic cricket per se. Then they can decide whether to have him back into the team or not. And so in terms of fitness, also there is now a rule, essentially a rule in the BCCI that especially for fast bowlers, if they are coming back from injury, take the example of a T. Natarajan who got injured, now has to make a comeback, they all need to play domestic cricket, show their match fitness there, because you could be fit in a fitness test, but match fitness is something very important. So show your fitness. So that's also an avenue for a lot of players who have been established, who got injured, were out of the team, to make a comeback to show their fitness. That was reason number 4 why Ranji Trophy is so important. Reason number 3 is because that is a platform that gives you an opportunity to play in the Indian team. Now, a lot of people might say that, listen, IPL is probably now the avenue from where they look at players and then select them into the Indian team. That's not true. Let's take a look at a few examples from the recent past. Priyank Panchal, who was selected as the 3rd opener, went to the tour of South Africa. He got picked because of his consistent performances in the Ranji Trophy. Venkatesh Iyer, many would say that he got picked because of the IPL. No, he got noticed in the IPL. After that, he played the Vijay Hazare Trophy. He played the Syed Mushtaq Ali. In Vijay Hazare, he showed that he can bat at number 6, also bowl about 8-9 overs, and that's when they decided to go with someone like Venkatesh Iyer as well. So for any talent that wants to make the cut, make it into the Indian team to get selected, this is an avenue. If you're not going to have a Ranji Trophy, how are you going to know who are the potential candidates, especially for Test cricket, to come in next? So that was reason number 3 why the Ranji Trophy is very, very essential. Reason number 4 is financial reasons. Now, there are close to about 600 players that play Ranji Trophy for their respective states, and a lot of them, almost half of them, are dependent on the Ranji Trophy for their livelihood. Now, there was a time that the match fee in playing Ranji Trophy wasn't very high, but you played Ranji Trophy cricket or first class cricket because that got you a job with the PSUs, like the Indian Oils, Indian Airlines or Air India would give you jobs, and then you could earn a livelihood. But now PSU jobs are on the decline. Not too many players, first class players, are getting those PSU jobs. So where are they earning their daily bread? By the match fees that they earn while playing domestic cricket. Now the match fee has really improved. You get about 35,000 rupees for 1 day of Ranji Trophy cricket. So if you play 4 days, you get 35 into 4. For Vijay Hazare per day, also 35,000 is what match fee players get. I think it's 17,500 for Syed Mushtaq Ali. So if you combine all of these three formats of domestic cricket, a player, if he plays all these three formats for his Ranji Trophy side, he ends up making close to 14.5 lakh per annum, which is a good enough salary for anyone to sustain himself. So it's the livelihood of a lot of players. If you're not going to have Ranji Trophy, which contributes about 75% of this 14.5 lakh that I mentioned, that means those players are not going to be able to sustain themselves financially, which is why Ranji Trophy is very, very important. And reason number 5 why Ranji Trophy is essential for Indian cricket is look at the people that are behind the scenes, like your match referees, like your umpires, like the video analysts that each team has. So there are plenty of people working behind the scenes. Rough estimate says about 500 people across teams are also employed by Ranji Trophy cricket, and a lot of them are again dependent entirely on domestic cricket. You did not have the Ranji Trophy last season, and I'm getting to hear that almost half of those 500 people have decided not to have any sort of role in domestic cricket. They've gone on to do other jobs. Some of them have even opened grocery shops to just sustain themselves. So that's the condition of the people, or the people who are around the cricket, and they survived because of Ranji Trophy. Because you did not have Ranji Trophy last season, they didn't get paid. What about the players that were injured, that did not play the previous season? The last season that happened 22 months ago, you can see this. This is where Saurashtra were crowned the champion. That was the last Ranji Trophy that happened. Anyone who did not play that season, any player, because of injury, did not get paid for the next season where the Ranji Trophy didn't happen, and 50% fees was paid by the BCCI to the players. But anyone who was injured didn't get a chance. What about the players who were under 19 level and were making a transition into Ranji Trophy? They did not play in this season, could have played in the following 2 seasons. They didn't get paid either. So a lot of people are that way dependent on their livelihood when it comes to Ranji Trophy, and